But is it separable? What do you think? Yes. Multiply 2y minus 1 on both sides. Then it is 2y minus 1 dy is equal to 3x squared plus 4x plus 2 and dx. Beautiful, right? That's it. Take the integral. At left-hand side, y squared minus 2y and c somewhere, okay? And right-hand side is x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x. And we can do constant c. That's it. This is implicit form of the solution, okay? But we are not done yet. Here we go. Since we have y of 0 equal -1, plug in x equals 0 and y equal -1, okay? Then since it is implicit, you have to plug in properly and 0, 0, 0, and c. Therefore, your c is 1 plus 2, which is 3. So therefore, your solution of y squared minus 2y implicit form is x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x plus 3. Done. And we can try to make it as explicit form, okay? Make it was y squared minus 2y equal to x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x plus 3 as that's what you're going to do, okay? Then for that purpose, let me move all the right-hand side to left-hand side, okay? Y squared minus 2y minus x cubed minus 2x squared minus 2x minus 3. You know what I'm doing, right? Because I just want to make sure about your A, B, and C for your quadratic formula, okay? Your A is 1, and B is what? -2, and C is whole extent. Because we're going to do the quadratic formula for y. Is it okay? Your x, you have to consider x as constant, okay? Then, here we go. Your y is equal to what is that? Minus b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4a over 2a. Am I doing right? Guys, try to follow me, okay? Because I'm not talking something crazy, okay? I'm talking about your high school study. Now, let me try to simplify your under the square root first, okay? So look at this guy. That is equal to 4 minus 4 minus x cubed minus 2x squared minus 2x minus 3. Which means if I put out 4 and 1 plus x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x plus 3, which is 4 times. Are we with me so far? It is under the square root, which means we can just put out 4 as like outside of square root, which means 2 plus and minus 2 square root of x cubed plus 2x squared, 2x plus 4 over 2. Cancel out 2 everywhere. Therefore, your explicit form is 1 plus and minus square root of x cubed plus 2x squared, 2x plus 4 now. We are not supposed to stop here. Do you know why? Because we have initial condition, right? Here we go. And since y of 0 was, what was it? -1, right? Look at that. When you plug in 0 into there, what happened? 0, 0, 0, 0, and 4, which is 1 plus and minus squared 4, right? Well, if it is plus, what happened? 1 plus 2, which is 3. Oh, it is against with my initial condition, right? Does it make sense? But like if we consider just negative sign, what happened? 1 minus 2, which is -1, which satisfy my initial condition, okay? Which means your final explicit form of solution cannot be both of them, but you have to choose. One minus this one only, which satisfy your initial condition. Do you understand? Then whenever we have this one, we have to consider one more thing, which is domain. Okay? Can you find any domain issue for this solution, by the way? What is domain issue? Exactly. Since that whole part is under the square root, which means it must be greater than or equal to 0, okay? Thank you. So here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a little bit more about this solution. It must be greater than or equal to 0. Let me write it again, okay? X cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x plus like that, okay? It is quadratic, but fortunately, that form is good form, which is the, like, we can do factoring, right? X squared, oh, come on, they started again. Like that. And factor like this way. Is it okay? So now we have two factors, but look at first factor, x squared plus 2. Oh, no matter what, it is always positive. So there is no restriction from the first parenthesis, right? But look at second parenthesis. Oh, we cannot have less than -2. So my conclusion is my x must be bigger than or equal to -2. That will be my domain. Are you okay so far? But you know what? There is that always like problem happen at the end point. So we have to consider, you have to look at the when x equals -2, okay? Here we go. But if x equal to -2, what happened? When you plug in -2 in there, look at that. -8, +8, -4, +4, which is whole 0. Then your y must be equal to 1, right? Right? But guys, can I scroll up a little bit? Guys, don't forget this. Like when x equals -2, your y is equal to 1, right? And which is totally against with this guy. Look at that. Look at the problem. When y equals 1, what happened? Exactly, which means undefined. So look at that. Right-hand side of differential equation is undefined. So which means your y cannot be equal to 1. Another way, your x cannot be -2, right? Therefore, the domain of this problem is x strictly bigger than -2. Okay, then your solution is 1 minus square root of x cubed to x squared. That is my conclusion, okay?